Chapter 3. Current Electricity. Electricity is of utmost importance in the modern world, for you also and for we also. We depend on it for almost everything in our day-to-day life. For the generation of electricity, water is released from a dam at a higher level, and because of gravity it falls to a lower level. Thus, as we know, the direction of flow of water between 2 points depends on the level of the 2 points. Just like water, the flow of electric charge between 2 points depends on a kind of electric level at those points, and this level is called electric potential. A positive charge flows from a point of higher potential to a point of lower potential. We have seen that electricity flows due to the conduction of negatively charged electrons. Electrons flow from the point of lower potential to a point of higher potential. Here, conductor A is at a higher potential than conductor B. When these two are connected by a conducting wire, a potential difference is created between its two ends, and electrons will flow from B to A through the wire. This flow will continue until the two conductors A and B have the same potential, that means until their potential difference becomes zero. Only then will the flow of electrons stop. Work has to be done against the electric field to take a positive charge from a point of lower potential to a point of higher potential. Then potential difference of a cell. The difference in potential between the positive and negative terminals of a cell is the potential difference of that cell. This potential difference is caused by chemical reactions occurring inside the cell. The potential difference sets the electrons in motion and results in the flow of electricity through a conducting wire connected to the two ends of the cell. The amount of work done to carry a unit positive charge from point A to point B is called the electric potential difference between the 2 points. Potential difference between 2 points is equal to work upon total charge transferred. So V is equal to W upon Q. So 1 V is equal to 1 joule upon 1 C. The unit of potential difference in SI system is a volt. Very small values of potential difference are expressed in the following units such as millivolt and microvolt. And large values of potential difference are expressed in kilovolt and megavolt. Then free electrons. Every atom of a metallic conductor has one or more outermost electrons which are very weakly bound to the nucleus. These are free electrons. These electrons can easily move from one part of a conductor to its other parts. The negative charge of the electrons also get transferred as a result of this motion. The free electrons in a conductor are the carriers of a negative charge. Now current flowing through a wire. If a conducting wire is not connected to the cell, its free electrons move randomly in all directions in the space between the atoms. When we connect the ends of the wire to the two terminals of a cell, electric force acts on the electrons. Being negatively charged, they start moving from the negative, that is lower potential, to the positive, that is higher potential terminal of the cell. Due to the flow of these electrons, current starts to flow through the wire. This motion of electrons is irregular, but there is a definite non-zero value to their average velocity. Then electric current. An electric current is the flow of electrons through a conductor. Quantitatively, current I is defined as the charge passing through a conductor in unit time. If charge Q is flowing through cross section of a conductor in time t, then the current I is equal to Q upon T. The unit of charge in SI units is Coulomb, that is C, and current is expressed in ampere A, and the charge of one electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 C. 1 ampere current is said to flow in a conductor if 1 Coulomb charge flows through it every second. 1A is equal to 1C upon 1S. Even though electrons move from negative end to the positive end, conventionally, the direction of current flow is taken to be opposite of the direction of flow of electrons, that is, from the positive end to the negative end of a cell. The very small values of current are expressed in the units such as milliampere and microampere. Now, resistance and Ohm's law. Ohm's law. The relationship between the current flowing through a wire I and the potential difference across its ends V can be obtained from the law that was given by the German scientist Georg Siemens Ohm. If the physical state of a conductor remains constant, the current I flowing through it is directly proportional to the potential difference V between its two ends. I is directly proportional to V. I is equal to kV, here K is the constant of proportionality. I into 1 upon K is equal to V, here 1 upon K is equal to R, that is resistance of the conductor. I into R is equal to V, therefore V is equal to IR, or R is equal to V upon I. This is Ohm's law. And physical state of the conductor means its length, area of cross section, temperature and the material it is made up of. We can obtain the SI unit of resistance from the above formula. Potential difference and current are measured in volts and amperes respectively. The units of resistance is called Ohm. It is indicated by this symbol. Therefore, 1 volt upon 1 ampere is equal to 1 Ohm. Resistance of 1 Ohm. If 1 ampere current flows through a conductor, when 1 volt potential difference is applied between its ends, then the resistance of the conductor is 1 Ohm. Then resistance and resistivity of a conductor. Directional motion of electron causes the flow of current, and moving electrons strike the atoms and ions which lie along their path. Such collisions cause hindrance to the flow of electrons and oppose the current. This hindrance is called the resistance of the conductor. At a given temperature, the resistance R of a conductor depends on its length L, area of cross section A, and the material it is made of. If the resistance of a conductor is R, then R is directly proportional to L. Also, R is directly proportional to 1 upon A. Therefore, R is directly proportional to L upon A. Therefore, R is equal to rho L upon A. Here rho is the constant of proportionality and is called the resistivity of the material. The unit of resistivity in SI unit is Ohm meter, and resistivity is a specific property of a material, and different materials have different resistivity. Then electric circuit. A continuous path of an electric current through conducting wires connected to the two ends of a cell and other resistances is called an electric circuit. A circuit is depicted by a figure which shows how different components are to be connected in the circuit by using special symbols for each of the components, and such a figure is called an electric circuit diagram. Here, an ammeter is used to measure current and a voltmeter to measure the potential difference between the two ends of the resistor. As the voltmeter has a very high resistance, only very small current flows through it. These are the symbols components of an electric circuit and their uses. Electric cell. It is used to apply a potential difference between two ends of a conductor. Battery means collection of a number of cells is used to apply a larger potential difference between two ends of the conductor. Open tap key or plug key is used to stop the flow of the current. Close tap key or plug key used to start the flow of the current. Connecting wires to connect various components in the circuit. Crossing wires to show wires which cross but are not connected. Light bulb to test the flow of electricity. When the current is flowing, it is lighted. When the current is not flowing, it is unlighted. Resistance is used to control the flow of current in the circuit. Variable resistance to change the resistance. Ammeter to measure the current flowing in the circuit. Voltmeter to measure the potential difference between 2 points in the circuit. Then conductors and insulators. Conductors are those substances which have very low resistance and current can flow easily through such materials. Insulators are the substances which have extremely high resistance and through them current cannot flow. Now, system of resistors and effective resistance. In several electrical devices, a number of resistors are connected together in different ways. First, resistors in series. Here, the ends of the three resistors are connected so that they follow one after the other in a single line. These are said to be connected in series. In such arrangement, the same current flows through each resistor. The value of current is I and the potential difference between C and D is V. The three resistors R1, R2 and R3 are connected in series in the circuit. Let the voltages across them be V1, V2 and V3 respectively. Then V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Therefore, Rs is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. If n resistors are connected in series, then Rs is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus dot dot plus Rn. If resistors are connected in series, then same current flows through each resistor. The effective resistance of the resistors is equal to the sum of their individual resistances. So, if Rs is the effective resistance, then according to Ohm's law, V1 is equal to IR1, V2 is equal to IR2 and V3 is equal to IR3, and therefore Rs is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. But if any one of them does not function, the circuit breaks and there is no flow of electricity. Then resistors in parallel. Resistors are said to be connected in parallel when their ends are connected at both sides like this. Here three resistors R1, R2 and R3 are connected in parallel between points C and D. V is the potential difference between them, and let I1, I2 and I3 be the currents flowing through R1, R2 and R3 respectively. Then the total current flowing through the circuit is I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3, equation 1. Let Rp be the effective resistance between C and D. According to Ohm's law, I is equal to V upon Rp. Similarly, I1 is equal to V upon R1, I2 is equal to V upon R2, I3 is equal to V upon R3. Therefore, 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3, and if n resistors are connected in parallel, 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 plus dot 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 plus 1 upon Rn. Even if any one of the several bulbs connected in parallel becomes non-functional because of some damage to its filament, the circuit does not break as the current flows through the other paths and the rest of the bulbs light up. Now, domestic electrical connections. The electricity in our homes is brought through the main conducting cable either from the electric pole or from underground cables. Usually there are three wires. One is the live wire which brings in the current. It has a red or brown insulation. The other is neutral wire through which the current returns. It is blue or black. In India, the voltage difference between the live and neutral wires is about 220 volts. Both these wires are connected to the electric meter through a fuse. Through the main switch, they are connected to all the conducting wires inside the home so as to provide electricity to every room. In such separate circuit, various electrical appliances are connected between the live and neutral wires. The different appliances are connected in parallel and the potential difference across every appliance is the same. The third wire is the earth wire and is of yellow or green color. It is connected to the metal plate buried deep underground near the house and is for safety purpose. Then fuse wire. It is used to protect domestic appliances. It is made up of a mixture of substances and has a specific melting point. It is connected in series to the electric appliances. If from some reason the current in the circuit increases excessively, the fuse wire gets heated up and melts. The circuit gets broken and the flow of current stops. Thus, the appliances are protected. This wire is fitted in a groove in a body of porcelain like non-conducting material. Then precautions to be taken while using electricity. Electric switches and sockets should be fitted at a height at which small children cannot reach and put pins or nails inside. Before cleaning an electrical appliance, it should be switched off and its plug removed from the socket. One's hand should be dry while handling an electrical appliances. And as far as possible, one should use footwear with rubber soles. If a person gets an electric shock, you should not touch that person. You should switch off the main switch, and if the switch is too far or you do not know where it is located, then you should remove the plug from the socket if possible. If not, then you should use a wooden pole to push the person away from the electric wire.